how y'all doing? I'm actually probably today, so I'm a little stuffed up here. So today's video is interesting. Kind of a gentleman named First Amendment Audit. Don't know much about him, but basically at the core, this video was originally from a news network in I think Philadelphia, who did a segment on First Amendment auditors. This is this gentleman's reaction to that news video. This is my reaction to his video in regard to the news video. If you're looking for a funny video, this really isn't it. I'm trying to one of the other ones I had earlier. But he does make a few fair points, and it's something just for us to think about. 90% of auditors are generally straightforward, play by the rules, behave themselves people. The other 10% that we all know and love, Eric, Glenn, Jose, Josh, Patrick, and so on and so forth. These are the provokers. These are the guys that our videos focus around because these are the guys that cause the most trouble. But he makes a few points. So just some of you guys to think about. Alright, so here we go.
The First Amendment audit movement has seen a rise in popularity in recent years, with activists testing the limits of free speech and the right to record in public spaces. This movement involves individuals, often with cameras, who conduct audits of government facilities and public spaces to test the reaction of authorities and document any potential violations of constitutional rights. While some view this movement as a necessary exercise of free speech, others see it as a dangerous and provocative activity that can lead to confrontations with law enforcement.
So yeah, like I said, most auditors, like 90% of them, are generally decent people. They follow the rules, they behave themselves. But not a problem with them. The other guys, like I said, Jose, Eric, Glenn, and those guys, those are provokers. They provoke and escalate the confrontation, all for YouTube video money. That's all it is. You know, old story, we all know this one. But for the most part, it's those few that ruin it for everyone.
Connecticut is, of course, called the Constitution State, and this is an issue that's fundamental to our very democracy. The First Amendment of the Constitution, freedom of speech and freedom of the press. Shortly before Christmas, a team of First Amendment auditors entered the Ridgefield Town Hall with their cameras and started interacting with government officials.
Can you please shut that off?
No, it's silly.
What do you mean no? Get out of here.
Ridgefield public employee Patricia Pacheco eventually hit the panic button under her desk as the interaction between Pacheco and auditor Josh Abrams escalated.
Yeah, so, big surprise with Josh. But this is not an audit, this is harassment. This is where the line gets crossed. A true auditor, be respectful, be professional. You can hear Josh laugh in the background. This is him just harassing someone who actually has a real job.
Oh, ma'am, it's not going to be good. Don't do that. You're going to look very...
Oh,
all right, ma'am. All right.
And that's exactly why they do what they do. They want that interaction for all this crap.
You're going to have to call someone now. Unfortunately, she's in trouble.
Ridgefield police responded and charged Pacheco with disorderly conduct. But State Representative Pat Callahan is looking into crafting state law to limit auditor access. He told Fox 61 he believes there's an ulterior motive.
Yep, it's called YouTube ad revenue money.
In 2021, the pandemic and social justice movements brought new attention to the First Amendment audit movement, with many activists using the audits to document instances of police brutality and racial profiling. However, some local governments and law enforcement agencies are pushing back against the movement, arguing that it is a waste of resources and can pose a threat to public safety.
So, here's the thing with that. Police officer pulls a person over. They know nothing about this person. They're trying to talk to him. An auditor, I think they seem to just sort of show up, walk up behind him. Officer gets distracted. The person they stopped in the car could be a wanted murderer. Pulls out a gun knife, kills the police officer, takes off, and now we have a dead police officer. I guarantee you, these frauders will not shed a tear over that. They'll probably run over, put it on YouTube as fast as they can, try to get ad revenue out of it, and have no remorse whatsoever or any responsibility.
Some states have even enacted laws to restrict recording in certain areas, or to impose penalties on individuals who conduct First Amendment audits.
It's not even calling First Amendment people. What they're doing is trying to start a fight. The departments at these town halls that they're trying to visit and not come in and put their phone, an inch from your nose and try and provoke you.
That's actually what they do. We see this we've seen this on this channel, we've seen it on Vilified, DGen Nation, Mass Hole Reports, when Schroeder was his soul passed before he passed, saw it on his channel. That's exactly what these guys are trying to do. They want that confrontation for ad revenue money. It's clickbait.
During many of these encounters, police are called.
It's really mutual respect. If you show up and give anybody you're dealing with the respect that they deserve, you're going to get it back.
Ridgefield police told us they conduct internal training on First Amendment rights.
We advise the public and all the other town agencies to do the same internally, is to educate their employees on First Amendment rights, because we know they could show up any day at any time.
Ridgefield police tell us these auditors know to stick to the public areas. As for that public employee, she was given the chance to apologize and avoid a charge. She refused, but her disorderly conduct charge was eventually dropped.
Good.
Callahan admitted it's difficult to be able to craft a law that would still be in line with the Constitution.
Despite the controversy surrounding the movement, advocates of First Amendment audits argue that they serve an important purpose in protecting civil liberties and holding public officials accountable. They point to instances where audits have exposed government corruption or violations of civil rights.
Now, yes, they have. I will give credit due. They have done that. But these are like 1 in 10,000 encounters. It's like throwing a rock at a target, 10,000 rocks, only one rock hits. That's literally the ratio here. Look at all these thousands of audit videos. 7, 8 confirmed we stumbled onto something. It's not just that they stumbled onto it. And a lot of times it isn't until they contacted back and said, hey, we heard there was an incident with this person. Can you come back and talk to us? And that's when they learned they stumbled onto something by sheer dumb chance. A lot of times, that's not their goal at all. Again, they're here to provoke confrontation for YouTube views and ad revenue. That's their sole goal. And then to get even with the police if they got arrested for something. So the fact that they stumbled onto something that actually has legitimate value in law, a 10,000 to 1 chance. And someone got kind of lucky.
However, critics argue that the movement is often driven by a desire for attention and can be used to harass or intimidate public officials. As the debate over the First Amendment audit movement continues, it remains to be seen how it will affect the relationship between citizens and law enforcement, as well as the future of free speech in public spaces. Whether one supports or opposes the First Amendment audit movement, it is an important and timely topic that is shaping the future of free speech and civil liberties in the United States.
And yeah, so, like I said, straightforward. He wasn't screaming hard, he wasn't throwing up sayings around, he was being professional sounding. But yes, that's the scariest part about these auditors. They're going to show up someday and a police officer could lose their life. And that is the most terrifying part about this. And they will have no remorse, no concern, no respect. Alright, so like, it's just, and crafting these laws, yeah, it is very tricky. And, how do you say you're coming here to harass me when you're just coming here just to do like a school project maybe? Again, as the police officer said, it's respect. You come in here, you mind your manners, you're respectful and polite, you're going to get that back, and you might get the best video ever of your entire, whatever you're doing. But a lot of these guys, like we said earlier with Josh, they're there to provoke a confrontation for the oldie but goodie, as I said a million times before in this video alone, ad revenue. For a lot of these guys, this is their source of income. Alright, so something good to think about. Hope you learned something about it. You guys have a good day, and I'll see you when I see you.